Hi, I'm joined by Grandmaster Anish Giri, who's currently in the middle of the Sinquefield Cup, but he still agreed to take some time out of his very busy schedule to talk to us. Anish, first of all, I wanted to understand. I'll come to the Sinquefield Cup in a while, but I just wanted to talk to you about the Global Chess League. The first season you missed that. Now you're going to be playing for the Alaskan Knights. Just talk to us about the team that you find yourselves in. What do you make of their chances? What do you make of your teammates? I believe Nodderbeck is already with you in St. Louis.
Yes, no, we've been very fortunate with the team. It's a very, very strong group of players. I think on some boards, like on most of the boards, I believe we are favorites. I think Nodderbeck is a tremendous player. If anything, he's deserves to be on the icon board. At this point, he's a very, very strong player in the top 10. Our prodigy is absolutely top notch as well. Nihal Sarin, one of the most talented speed chess players, especially. And this tournament going to be a rapid tournament, so that makes a difference as well. Nihal is one of the favorites, I believe, from the youngsters, because some of the youngsters have moved on to the other board, but he's one youngster that stayed on that board, so you have some unfair advantage there. Well, I mean, fair advantage, let's put it that way. And also the other players, I mean, Shahriar is a tremendous player. Also the female boards, Tanjangi and Alina won some events just now. Tanjangi, I believe, is absolute world champion level player, world champion, in fact, as well. But also world champion level player as well. And I think overall, honestly, I believe it is on my board where we are underdogs, because on the icon board we've got Magnus Carlsen, and the likes. That's going to be a challenge for me. But as a team, I think we're going to be doing great.
You mentioned that you are picked as an icon. How do you see your role in the team? I don't know. As you said that a lot of these juniors have kind of now you see them week in week out almost on a sense in sitting across you and playing with you. But do you see yourself in a mentoring role for somebody like a Nihal or Nodderberg, or I don't know, like an
Certainly, I
elderly
think.
brother?
Sure. I certainly, although they've more than caught up with strength at this point, I do think I have lots of experience. I'm not that old in terms of age, but in terms of having played on the highest level, I am very old. I've been playing, at the very top since I'm like 15. So it's been 15 years, and I've seen lots of generations pass by, and I've seen some players having to retire, some other players not retiring. I've seen youngsters coming up and going, and I think there's a lot I can offer in that sense as well. Also, I've always been very experienced at handling other obligations besides playing. I think when you're young, you are focusing fully on chess, and whatever happens around you passes you by. So anything related to, be it media or any organizational sort of things as well, you just you're completely oblivious to things, to life outside the board, which is a good thing, I think, and that makes youngsters very strong at chess. But I think in the role of an icon, it helps that I'm a little more aware of what's happening around the board as well, and I'm looking forward to learn from these great players, and perhaps to help them learn something as well.
You mentioned, how you kind of seen generations pass by and maybe a new generation come up. Just talk to us about, you were the world's youngest grandmaster at one stage at the age of 14. And now you're seeing that, there are grandmasters who are 12 and whatever. How, do you now look at them and think that, oh, how are they doing this at this age? Or do you kind of understand what they're doing or how they're getting that good?
Well, no, definitely chess has changed a lot. You see also, I mean, it's not exactly the same, but there are some videos now after the Olympic Games that are circulating about, let's say, high jump, from like 100 years ago and now, and you see like the guys running and like fumbling over the bar, you know, with the front and all that. And they were tremendous at the time, obviously. But I wouldn't say it's the same in chess. But we should also realize that chess, just like any other activity, is not immune to that. And there's progress, and there's technological progress. I mean, also other sports, like for example, in a sport like figure skating or track and field, you know, the software there, you know, like they start tracking everything, modeling everything. It's science, you know, and it's very much same as with chess. The engines have gotten so much stronger. Now you can trust the computer at its immediate assessment, and you just learn from what it says. Before, you needed to verify what it says. It was not giving the truth. It was just giving a suggestion. And it was a suggestion of a very strange player, because computer was always good at calculation, but terrible at understanding. So you would never, and if you learn understanding from computer, you would get terrible understanding because it was understanding things terribly. It had no intuition. And now with the neural networks, computers have gained intuition, and you can just learn from them. You just take them, take that to the face value, and that's accelerates the learning process so much. And as a result, you see not only younger grandmasters, but also I think it's going to be more and more. I mean, you mentioned 12-year-old grandmasters, but I think we are in for a lot more. There are already 10-year-old players who are beating grandmasters as well, and it's unbelievable because I played this player sometimes online, and it makes it feel like chess is a lot simpler than I thought. Because afterwards, I think like, yeah, you know, he didn't do anything special. It was easy how he played. But then I think, yeah, but you know, he shouldn't be beating me at 10, you know. But but sometimes they do, and I lost some games. I mean, I'm not worse than 10-year-old yet, but I lose some games to these players, and then I see that yes, chess, you know, it's not so hard after all if you got the right basics. And yeah, there's a lot of progress on that front for sure. And yeah, we're seeing chess getting younger and younger, and also more and more wide. Before, only a couple players would break through to the top, and now there's like a whole array, you know, like from India there's like a bunch, but also from other countries. And many other countries, you've got a lot of potential players who are also heavily underrated because they are not in time to catch up with their level. The rating is not enough to catch up. So you see in tournaments, in open tournaments, always some games between strong grandmasters and maybe, I don't know, 2300 player, 2400 player who is not a grandmaster at all and supposed to be losing to them, but they're not losing at all, and they're playing at a very high level. And this is also one of the reasons why so many cheating accusations are flowing around these days, because people can't believe it. They're like, they must be cheating, but most of them are not cheating. I mean, there might be some cases of cheating, but most of them are not. It's just that it's so hard to imagine that so many players are being established players, and I believe that is to do with the level of chess growing in general.
In terms of mindset, you know, I interviewed Vidit after he had just qualified for the candidates, and he told me in the interview that, you know, there was a whole phase where I thought that maybe my time is over because Gukesh was coming up, Prag was coming up, Arjun was coming up. Maybe did you ever feel like that because of these prodigies coming up? As you said, there are 10-year-olds who are very close to maybe pushing you to the limit. And that, as you said, it makes you feel that chess is maybe it's not that difficult, but maybe it also kind of makes you feel that, oh, I mean, maybe I could have been like a 12-year-old prodigy or a 10-year-old prodigy or a
Well,
grandmaster at 10 or 12.
Sure. No, it's certainly, I mean, actually, as we speak currently, I've had a very unfortunate streak of results. So my ranking has dropped tremendously. And I've had these experiences before. And now there's additional pressure of like people wondering that maybe I'm old. And I know that I'm not, because I know that in chess, like you're not 30 is not the age when you are dropping. Like you are maturing as a player, you're physically at your peak. You know, you can like read up the science on physiology of people. Like at 30, you're doing great. But there is that additional pressure, because before nobody would even question that. They'd be like, okay, you know, Anish is having a bad tournament. But now I feel it's also in my head that, you know, maybe it's not my bad tournament, maybe it's the youngsters, you know. And it's tempting to blame everything on the youngsters, but I think that as Vidit has experienced, it's tempting to put all the blame on the youngsters for your own failures. But as Vidit also knows, you know, it is still up to you. We've got that within us. We still have we've had the bad moments before the youngsters came.
Mhm.
We have them when they're now, and we'll have them when the youngsters will not be youngsters anymore.
Yeah.
But you have to, get over your tough periods and come back stronger. And I'm sure I will too. And youngsters are there, but they're not there to blame for your temporary bad form. That's not the case, because what I believe is the case is the youngsters have come, they're there, but I don't see any reasons why the older players should go. Definitely not 30-year-old players.